Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the FearFans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy. With me is my co-host, Nick Millet. And here joining us, we have Jill, Joe, Kate, and Tom.
He was just on briefly just before we came on. Now he's
Hello.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Diamond Man and Nick, what up? I'm here. Yeah, good to see you here, Santi. And
Santi.
so tonight we're covering something that a lot of people have been requesting, and some people have there's been mixed feelings about this film from the very beginning, ever since it was released just a little more than 25 years ago. And it is the 1998 Roland Emmerich film Godzilla.
98 should not have been 25 years ago. What is going on with the timeline?
Wow.
I know, right? I was only 6 years old back
No
then.
way.
I had a son by then, so he was 2 years old.
I was only 5. I was a year younger.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but how old I was.
We won't talk about how old I was because I was managing the theater and opening this for the theater, our grand opening.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like, crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
The three of us are old.
I was just starting to drive cab after the leukemia.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Well, and there was. I mean, when this came out, there was a lot of hype for it. It was marketed pretty well.
Yeah, the trailers were good.
Oh yeah, and I remember when I was little, I went in downtown Chicago. I saw like these buses that had a sign on them saying, like, for a Godzilla poster, it said, "Its foot is as big as this bus."
Wow.
Yeah.
I do remember.
I remember, like, there was merchandise too all over the place. Like, there were cups, there were T-shirts, there was. I think even one of the fast food chains was selling merchandise too. I don't know if it was like
Yes,
McDonald's, something like that.
KFC.
Yeah.
KFC. I had
KFC,
the
that's what it
puppet
was.
thing.
Yeah.
That's right. And I
Yeah.
had one of those toys that makes that roaring noise whenever you turn its leg. I had one of those.
And they didn't even really use the traditional roar. I mean, it was close, but it wasn't the same.
Oh,
Yes.
it wasn't.
Here, I could pull that up, roar up for you guys. Here, hang on. 1998, roar. Here.
Here, just let Don whip this out.
Yep. Here, let me pull it up.
Oh, we've lost Nick. He's gone.
Nick's
That was early. It's only 2 minutes in.
here.
Oh, this is the dramatic part. Oh my god! It looked like a
Wow.
teen girl throwing a tantrum.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one of the things that was different. Like, the roar was had like a screeching kind of effect to it, and lots of people have been, for years saying, "Oh, like this is like the weakest of all the Godzillas because of how so easily it was defeated, and how Godzilla is not supposed to be a water iguana because that's how the film all started. That sepia toned intro." Where it showed a bunch of iguanas just living in French Polynesia. I'm not sure if they're actually indigenous to that in real life, but yeah. And then the nuclear tests that mutated one of the eggs, and it became Godzilla. And I should point out that I believe I saw like a Komodo dragon in that footage, and I'm hoping that didn't get caught in the blast because aren't Komodo dragons supposed to be highly endangered?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're said to be pretty. They are endangered. I don't exactly remember what it is, but their numbers are really going down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
as
think
Nick
they're
and-
only on
I'm sorry,
like
go
a
ahead.
specific island, aren't they? Off
Komodo
Japan.
Island.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very
Of all
specific.
places, the irony.
Yeah, they've got their own island.
As I'd
Yeah.
mentioned before, Nick and I know a guy named Ted Van Son who
Yep.
is huge on Godzilla, and he hated this movie.
Yes, he does.
Oh yeah, Toho hated this movie. I mean, they believe that this is the version that took the god out of Godzilla, and so when they, in response to this is one of the things I found hilarious about the way Toho company responded to this film. They bought years after this film got released. TriStar, Toho bought the rights from TriStar for this version of Godzilla and renamed it Zilla, and then own that character just for the sole purpose of having it killed off by the real Godzilla in Godzilla Final Wars back in 2004.
Wow.
Yep. It was the quickest battle that Godzilla ever had. Just took down Zilla just knocked him right into the Sydney Opera House within 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And
What was cool though, in this one, they did give a nod to the original. So like when the guy was laying in the bed and they recorded him and he kept saying what sounded like Godzilla, he was actually saying Gojira.
Mhm.
And then when they talked about it on the news, they said Godzilla, and the chick, what's her name, the heroine, she was like, it's Gojira.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
True. I thought that scene was kind of weird, where Jean Reno was trying to get a Japanese survivor to say what he saw. He like takes a lighter, just lights it like near him, gets to get his attention.
What did you see, old man?
Gojira. Yeah, and he just perfectly understood him. I'm guessing. So now lighters in this film work as to break language barriers.
I guess. Hey, all of a sudden, it makes people speak English. I don't. Hey, we could use that. Just everybody carry a lighter when you go to another country where they don't speak English.
Yeah, somebody's feedback is on.
Feedback? I don't hear any feedback.
Let's see.
I hear myself when I talk a little.
I can hear some feedback.
Well, it usually is the one person that can't hear it on StreamYard. I've learned that.
I'm guessing somebody has an extra window open playing the video back.
Wouldn't be me because I use my earbud, so you wouldn't hear it if I did.
And I'm in the same spot as I usually am. I'm down in the basement, so I don't know what feedback could be even occurring.
I don't know.
I was muted because I could hear it, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Well, if you were muted and it was still happening, then it's not you.
Oh, it's better now.
Oh, okay. Because somebody took care of it.
Nope.
No, I don't have 50 windows, Jeremy. You haven't even been to my house. How do you even know I got 50 of them?
Yeah, no, it's not me. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, see, with the earbud in, I know it
But
can't
wait,
be me because you can't hear what I hear.
Did Jeremy mean 50 windows as in windows or like tabs open?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just said it.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
I
but-
don't have
yeah.
50 windows open right now.
No?
I have 4.
Is the feedback still going?
Hello? No.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, now I guess. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, like
That was
hey.
such a Jack Sparrow moment.
hey face. Hey, good to see you on here. So yeah, today
No,
we're
sir.
covering Godzilla and from 1998. And here, I just want to see if I can put on that Final Wars scene where we can see the fate of what see the fate of Zilla in how he did against the real Godzilla.
I was actually about to share that one too, Don, because I wasn't sure if you were going to share it or
Do you have
not.
it open? Oh, do you have it open?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, here, let me put it up. Put it
Okay,
up.
give me 1 second. Because I got to make
Whip it out, Nick.
No, give me 1 second because again with what StreamYard's been doing right now, especially when you show videos from YouTube, because you guys have seen it before. Every time I've shared like a video of some sort, the sound doesn't work. So let me make sure.
You have to make sure that little thing is clicked to share the sound. It should be by default, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
See,
here.
I'm just going to do it the way I've done it before because it actually has also share system audio. So you guys tell me if you could hear this once I present the clip.
Okay.
And that is exactly why the old Godzilla would win, because the one in this movie did not have that blast.
No, the atomic breath. Yeah, that's one of the real Godzilla's advantages.
Right. The closest thing they had to it was like a car blew up in front of it and blew the fire.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, hey, Kate, what happened?
Sorry, yeah. So the internet's not very stable in this room, so I just had to go on my 5G, but it's good now. All fine.
Oh, okay.
Got to get
All right.
hardwired in there.
I know, right? I need one of those box things that what are they called? The
Router or
Oh, the routers.
No, like an extra one, like to boost
like a
the signal.
booster. Yeah.
Booster. Is that what
yeah,
it's called?
yeah.
Booster? Yeah, one of those.
So, bug is fixed. To answer your question, Billy, bug is fixed. Yeah, and that's not me in the feedback. I think we got it all sorted out. Oh, and yes, Sum 41 did the music in Godzilla Final Wars.
41,
Yeah,
that's what I was-
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty crazy how the lead singer of that is Avril Lavigne's ex-husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, is that really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Derek. Somebody.
You know, I gotta say this. It's too bad that whoever uploaded that clip, they should have had it extended just a little bit longer, because you knew what he said next was he knew that tuna fish eating monster was no good, which was a reference to Godzilla of '98.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying like, "Oh, that's a lot of fish." Like Godzilla was like eating those mounds of fish that they used to try to draw them out, and I'm just like, if I mean this thing is supposed to be still an iguana, a mutated iguana, this is inaccurate because like real iguanas do not eat fish. They primarily feed on plants and berries and leaves and sometimes small insects. But no, these iguanas don't eat fish.
Well, but Matthew Broderick actually said that line like the first time they put the fish out. He said, "That's a lot of fish."
Yeah.
So and then the stupidest scene happened, the dumbest scene in the movie. Right after that, when Godzilla's going after the helicopters, it gets the first 2 or 3, and then there's only one left. And the guy's like, "He's on my tail. I don't know what to do." I'm sitting here going, "Dumbass, you're in a helicopter. Go up."
Exactly.
You don't have to go in a straight line. Go up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing how they're able to have like with such limited airspace, get around all those buildings. And
can we talk about how many? I mean, somebody commented it was like watching Star Wars with how many helicopters they had.
God.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thought the same thing,
No
especially
way.
when they were showing the onboard screen that they were seeing, and you saw
Yeah.
like the things going like this. It looked like the arcade game from Star Wars, and I thought that when I was watching it.
Yeah, really.
What the hell is that? Real quick, I just want to say to Santi, what the hell? If I had a giant bottle of Pepsi to drink, I would win an arm wrest? No, I would not. I would not at all. I would not even drink a giant bottle of Pepsi. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, here. Yeah, here. John Reno is the best thing about the movie. The coffee gag to him was funny. Oh, yeah. Like, there's a gag. There's like this joke how different America is compared to France, like in terms of like coffee and croissants. And
Yeah.
he's like, I wanted French roast, and they're like, this is French
The guy's
roast.
like, "That's what it says."
Then you got just a little plain donut, and he's like, "What? Where's the croissants?" You know.
And the last time he referenced it was like after they killed Godzilla, and then Matthew Broderick and the chick kissed, and then Hank Azaria looked at the guy. He's like, "How you doing? You good?" He's like, "I could use a coffee."
Right. And Gene Reno, he's a really good actor. Like my favorite film that he was in was Leon the Professional, which he started a few years before this. Was acting as he was basically playing an assassin who acted as a mentor to a teenage Natalie Portman, and that was her film debut.
Teenage Mutant Natalie Portman.
Right.
That would be a cool movie.
Yeah. Let's see. He also did a villain role in Mission Impossible. And wait, the feedback is back, I think.
I think it didn't really go away. It's like going down and up and down and up.
It
might be StreamYard.
Are you sure you don't have tabs open, Nick?
No, I don't. You saw how many tabs I had open. I only had 2 of them. Now I have 1 because I got rid of the YouTube clip.
I think somebody might have a tab open. And
tain't me.
Yeah, it's stopped now. Okay, anyway, let's see. Okay, Billy's saying, do you like any other the Roland Emmerich movies? Yeah, I've watched a few of them. I did like Stargate, Independence Day, and Day After Tomorrow wasn't half bad.
You know, Babyface said that I like how there were a couple of Simpsons characters in there. I did recognize the chick that does Bart.
Yes.
She was in there for like one scene. Who else was in there?
Hank Azaria, who
oh yeah, duh.
Yeah. And
oh
also
my God, it was Mo and I missed it altogether.
Yep. Let's see, Harry Shearer, who was basically playing the same character he does in The Simpsons, Kent Brockman.
Yeah.
And let's see, who else? He also
there was
plays,
3 of them there.
Yeah, he plays let's see, who else? Mr. Burns and Smithers. He plays both those characters. Let's see. Hank Azaria plays Mo and Pooh in The Simpsons.
Surprised I didn't get like Dan I keep forgetting how to say his last name.
Dan Castanella.
Yeah,
Dan Castellaneta. Yeah, the voice of Homer. Yeah, it's like they threw all these characters in, like voice actors, and I'm just like, okay, why don't you just go ahead and throw in Dan Castellaneta, Julie Kavner, and Yardley Smith while you're at it?
Yeah, really.
Oh, it's back.
Mm-hmm.
and have them all together at one point. You know, and just have have Dan just be like, oh, don't, you know, and
Yeah. Sorry, I was checking the video of us our podcast here on the phone to listen to see if there really was feedback, but I think it's gone now.
When it comes back down, I'm gonna mute my mic just to make sure.
Okay.
It could be StreamYard itself. Every once in a blue moon, StreamYard does some weird things. Like it used to be like sometimes you'd hear phantom typing.
Yeah.
It sounded exactly like somebody typing and nobody was typing.
Yeah. He literally is the live action version of Kent Brockman. That's right. Oh man. Yeah, but in this version, like he's a much more sleazier kind of newscaster. He was not taking Audrey seriously, and Audrey like gets paid back by stealing his ID. Yeah. So, and let's see what else was I gonna say about this? Oh yeah, there was also there were two characters that stood out to me because of their names. There was the mayor, the Mayor Ebert, and his assistant Gene. So that which obviously is referring to the late
Siskel and Ebert.
Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm guessing a lot of people. There's been like theories about why they did this. Like some people are thinking like they did that in response to like the negative criticisms that Siskel and Ebert gave them in previous films. For the previous films, yeah. But Roger Ebert said, "Wait, I think the feedback's back."
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna mute.
We'll see if all right. If he's muted and it doesn't work, it's him.
It's you. I knew it.
As soon as you mute, and then he disappeared. Look at that.
Glitching like crazy, Nick.
You need to get like headphones or something, man.
Yeah.
Here, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Terminator.
He's
I found in part of that movie, and I don't know if anybody else saw it. Maybe I was just smoking too much as I was watching it this morning. But at one point, Godzilla looked the head or the face or whatever. The first thing I thought of was that alien from the Alien movies.
Okay,
yeah, that's
The
is
head.
it better now?
Yeah.
Let's
It
see.
only happened the one time. Maybe it was the angle that they shot it or whatever, but it looked. That's the first thing I thought of was the Alien movies in that head.
I thought when he swims, or he, whatever, when it swims through the water, it kind of reminded me of that.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But
I was actually really surprised because when I watched it, because I was 8 when this film came out, and I absolutely loved it. I loved all of the toys. I loved the whole concept of it because I'd never seen any. Because I love Jurassic Park as well. And watching it back as an adult, you're just like, oh my goodness, this is really bad. But like as a child, you don't see all of that. I just remember it being like really thrilling and really scary, and you know the CGI was incredible, and like how big the monster was and everything. So yeah, I guess watching it back as an adult, it's not the same.
You look at it now and you just realize it is nothing more than just a ripoff of Jurassic Park.
Watching it.
Yeah, that one scene.
Oh, you're watching it?
Oh,
That's when Joe caught him.
Hang on. Let me
That one scene when they were in there in the nest was a lot like Jurassic Park when all those eggs were hatching.
Yep.
the Jurassic. I was about to say Godzilla like babies. They seemed suspiciously similar to the raptors from Jurassic Park.
Right.
They moved
Exactly.
the
That's
same.
what I was thinking of.
They moved exactly the same, the way they ran and
You
everything.
know, and they even act almost the same way too, like aggressively.
Yeah. That's right. And hey, Billy,
Welcome to
answer your-
Godzilla Island.
And Billy, in response to this, I don't want to show like too many clips because I don't want to get us copywritten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could.
Yeah.
You never know.
I was
when
watching the
Facebook and
part where
YouTube
he
are
said
do
he's
that.
gonna go get a fish, and they wished him luck to get a bite, and he's like, "I
That
got
was
a bite."
Joe. I remembered his name for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, and they also were trying to like be like the original 1954 version by having all those boats, like get attacked in the beginning, like before making its way towards. Yeah, but they really cut to the chase. They cut to like where Godzilla goes to New York, to Manhattan, and I want to point out the way they depicted New York in this. I'm thinking, does it really rain that much in New York? Because the rain kept going nonstop throughout the entire movie.
The whole movie.
Yeah, there was only like one scene, like a very early part of the film where there was like no rain at all, and then the rest of that movie, it's constant thunderstorms.
Yeah, I love that scene though. Like one of the most iconic scenes is the cop leaning against the car, and you just hear the boom, and it's like just like Jurassic Park when they're in the car. Right? Isn't there so many similarities? Yeah. And it's like, I really love that scene.
Yeah, there were quite a few Jurassic Park vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't it the same way when Matthew Broderick was taken to the site where they had the footprints, and he's like,
what evidence? I don't see it.
Where? Yeah, like where is it? You're standing in it.
It's like, how does he not notice? Like he just stepped into a footprint. How does he not notice that? I don't get that. And oh yeah, Billy, I remember that museum teaser pretty well, where Godzilla was like his foot goes through into the museum, interrupting a field trip, and crushes a T-Rex skeleton. Yeah,
wow.
And that T-Rex skeleton, I'm just like, no, like that's not like I don't think they have a T-Rex skeleton that complete. Here in Chicago, we have the most complete T-Rex skeleton.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have a pretty complete one here in one of our museums. I don't know what one it was. I seem to recall that when I was a kid. I don't know. We went to so many museums when I was in elementary school.
I really love the trailers from the 90s though. Like they were just so cheesy and just like they don't do trailers like that anymore.
Not as
they
cheesy
show the film
as the trailers from the 70s.
No,
they were even cheesier.
Yeah, they were. Good night, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
Later.
Good night. Oh, wanted to respond to. Doesn't always rain in New York City. Not while I was there. The only thing that was constant there was the heavy traffic. Seriously,
and the amount of assholes.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
those are everywhere.
Yeah, it's every city. I could say here in Philly we have just as many. So,
have you guys ever been to New York?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
I was in New York just a year ago.
Oh, nice.
No, never.
Not New York City, but when I had to go to Wildwood. Jill, you remember obviously when Jeremy and Tom and I, as well as Jeremy, we met up at Wildwood Sanitarium. That was in New York, but not in the city.
Yeah,
which is weird because there's a place in Jersey called Wildwood. So when I heard people saying that, I thought, why are you going there? It's like a boardwalk with rides.
Yeah, and I've been to New York for a day though. It was for business. I remember driving right past the Empire State Building. I
was there multiple times. My first time there was in 2000, and I was in one of the buildings of the World Trade Center, the very top floor, and I'm afraid of heights. The only reason I agreed to go up there is because there was a bar up there. And we went up, we had some drinks, and then when we came out, my boss had me lean up against the building. He said, now look straight up, and you could see the whole building like swaying. And he said they're made that way so that they don't break in the high winds and stuff. Wow. And I said, man, it's a good thing you didn't show me that before, because I was going up there. But I saw that, and I was there after the Trade Center came down. Like I was there that November.
Oh,
it was still smoking at that time.
Yeah, that was arguably the darkest day in American history.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
Hey, Don. I'm muting a lot because there's a train going behind my house a lot. So I'm going to mute myself when there's a train or whatever.
Oh, I hear. I got you. I understand.
She's muting herself.
Yeah, and Babyface Thunder said, "I remember nobody could say Matthew Broderick's character's last name. Which was Totopoulos. I'm guessing people in this movie weren't used to Greek names, and they kept pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, one of them they might as well. Yeah, they kept mispronouncing it like crazy. And I'm surprised that none of them have just said Tatapa Cadrofragilistic Expialidocious. They might as well just be saying something like that at this point.
There was something somewhere along the line that I remember, and it's got to do with another movie, and I'm almost pretty sure it was Matthew Broderick in the movie, and he had the same last name.
Oh, did he?
Interesting.
It's like I haven't really seen Matthew Broderick in much lately. I mean, there was one film that he did last year with Jennifer Lawrence. What was it? No Hard Feelings? Yeah, that's what that was. Because he used to be huge in film. He used to like you remember. Think back to the movie he made here in Chicago, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah, that was.
And you know what? What's funny about that movie, about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and you'll hear this from any current or former high school student, student who went to my school. I went to Glenbrook South High School, and you guys remember that scene when Ferris Bueller, when the dean and that girl are waiting outside in front of the building for her dad? That was Glenbrook North. That was Glenbrook North High School, our other school.
Yeah, it still looks very much the same where they were standing.
Yes, it does. It's still the same.
I've seen people do filming locations there and stuff.
And I was originally supposed to go to Glenbrook North High School before going to South. So I would have gone to school where Ferris Bueller was. Well, where part of Ferris Bueller was filmed.
Save Ferris.
Yep. Oh, hey, Angela. Here. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So I let Angela know that we were covering Godzilla because he loves this movie too. But so Angela, we were discussing Matthew Broderick, his acting history. Let's see. Yeah, we were just talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He was also in, what was that, War Games?
War Games.
Yeah.
I liked him on Project X.
Game.
That's
See, we didn't know Stephen Hawking did voices back then in movies. All right, maybe that was a bad joke. Come on, but it was funny.
But and also Matthew Broderick also voiced Simba in The Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah,
no way! I didn't know that.
Simba grown up
when he was an adult. Yes, when Simba was an adult. Yeah, that's right. It was one of the movies I watched with my father, just the two of us. I missed. Oh,
I'm sorry, Angelo.
Yeah. Sorry for your loss, man. Yeah. It's ever since, like I said before, ever since this movie came out, there's been mixed criticism, and I'm just thinking, say what you want about this, but as far as Matthew Broderick's performance, I still prefer this over his god awful Inspector Gadget movie that came out the year after.
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was wiped from my memory. Yeah.
Most people have forgotten about that film, even though back then it was heavily advertised by McDonald's.
Yeah, all the toys.
I remember the toys. You had to collect each part to make a full Inspector Gadget figure. I remember that.
No, I much preferred the cartoon in the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down.
For sure.
Was it Don Adams did the voice or whatever?
Yeah, the same guy that did Maxwell Smart.
Yeah. Hello, Chief. You're where?
Can you sing it for us, Tom? The theme tune.
From the cartoon? Yeah, it was like Inspector Gadget.
Oh yeah, that's one of the 80s.
If it's 80s, I know it.
Yeah.
I'll get
you next time, Gadget.
Next time. I can't do the cat thing.
I got you. Saw Inspector Gadget in theaters. Big mistake.
Right back.
They even made it worse with the sequel. It's straight to video. Yeah, so that should say plenty.
They did have a sequel. Was he in the sequel too?
Yeah, it was released straight to video in 2003. It had what was his name? French Stewart from Third Rock Around the Sun playing the role, and oh god, it was so cheesy. It was incredibly cheesy. I hated it.
They need to stop. I've said it multiple times in things that we've done and talked about. They need to stop remaking things.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly.
I mean,
with that.
if they want to remake things, be a little more creative. Like, let's say, I don't know.
Hollywood doesn't have an imagination.
Let's say take the character Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, not just because it's my favorite movie. If we take that and you think about how in The Evil Dead 2,
hey, Leon.
Ash became a Deadite a couple times in that movie, so he had the Deadite gene in him. So let's just say later on in life, and some of his, his going around and being with women, he has a kid that he doesn't know about, and the kid grows up. Right now, the kid has Deadite genes inside of it, so it has superpowers now. So it's got like invulnerability. No matter what happens, it doesn't break a bone, it doesn't get hurt or anything like that, and it decides to go around in a big blue suit. And it has a big chin because Bruce Campbell has a big chin. And it calls itself The Tick. And that's the new background story for The Tick. If you guys remember that show at all. I don't know if you do.
Yep.
It's back in the 90s. It was a cartoon. And then they did a live action show too, but it sucked.
That's right.
But maybe that's a new backstory of The Tick. And then we just go on that.
Hollywood's got no imagination, so they got to remake TV series into movies, movies into TV series, video games into movies, movies into video games. And somewhere along the line, it's because the older generation that used to run Hollywood, they grew up with without the cell phones, without the computers. They were forced to go outside and play and have an imagination. And you don't come back in until dinner's ready and your mom and dad calls you, or the lights go outside. Lights come on outside.
When the street lights come on, you better come in and go
Nowadays,
right to bed because we don't want to see you.
Nowadays, all the people that are running Hollywood, well, they grew up with all that stuff: cell phones, computers, video games, all that stuff in their house that didn't allow them to use an imagination. So now they got to come up with stuff that, let's rehash this into a movie. Let's redo this, but we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
Billy's
right. It did have an animated series based off of this Godzilla.
Yes, they did.
Like it looked similar.
Oh yeah.
Unlike the one in the 80s that I talked about before with Godzilla and Godzuki.
Oh yeah.
That was fun to watch though.
Yeah, the cartoon for this film, it was okay. I remember watching a few episodes when I was younger, when I was little, around the time. And
I remember Godzuki.
Screw the rest of us. What the hell? I got long hair. Me and him, we both got long hair.
Yeah, they got long hair and spiked, and Nick sometimes lost long hair.
Let's see your long hair.
Whoa! What's this about long hair? What?
We were just joking about this comment that Jeff left.
Oh, hey Jeff, the goat.
It's just
Tom, where's your longer hair? Where's the wig?
Hanging on the hook.
The really long hair.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't do wigs. All spiked.
And I don't. And that long hair you probably previously seen. That was my actual hair. I'm waiting for it to grow back.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, that looks like something D. Snyder wore.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I was going to zoom in on Tom with the wig.
Oh,
yes, Billy, I got that request. He's requesting for us to react to that cartoon or not that cartoon, that kids show that you were talking about that was creepy.
Hang on. There we go.
There we go.
I should have taken the hat off, but
close enough.
Yeah, good enough. Yeah.
I don't like removing this hat because it's such a cool hat, and you can buy one if you want to. I have merch out.
Who's I don't know why I don't. Who's getting Silver Goblin to? Who is that?
It's probably Jeremy.
Oh no, Jeremy said he was going to call.
Jeremy was here earlier.
Somebody else.
What's that noise?
It's a train. Sounds like a train or a plane.
Oh, gotcha.
Or Godzilla.
Get cover. Oh, here. Joe, this question is for you.
Jeremy, you said we're going to be getting off.
I told you. He doesn't go to bed.
Yeah,
Joe, this
I
question
don't
is
think
to
so.
you.
I don't think so.
Yeah, just one of those things that should be left alone, huh?
I just have to say, guys, I have to go now. I apologize. No. I have to go and make a birthday cake for my husband since it's his birthday tomorrow.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So.
Well, mine's coming up in a couple of weeks, so you can make me one too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you have to let me know. Do you want a Victoria sponge, chocolate cake, velvet, red velvet cake? Let me know. I love baking. I'm really into baking.
Kate, you're probably going to have to make 2 because my birthday is a month from now.
And mine.
Okay.
3.
Mine is literally like in the beginning of the month. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Really soon. Nice. Oh, yeah. German chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. And, so I'll send you guys a picture when I'm done with the cake.
Yes.
All right. And hey, tell your husband I said happy birthday.
Yes,
thank you.
birthday.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. He'll appreciate that. That's really kind.
No problem.
But yeah, have fun. Thank you.
Take care, Kate.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, she did tell me before this that she did have to get off early to make that cake.
Yeah, it happens, you know.
Yeah,
life happens.
Hey, that's life. There's priorities. You know? I totally get it. Yeah, but so let's see. What else did I wanted to cover on this? Oh yeah, like there were when Roger Ebert saw this, so like their characters based on them, you know, on Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. Ebert was just like, if you really wanted us to be reference us in the Godzilla movie in response to the way we've commented on your movies in the past, why you could have just had Godzilla crush us in the movie, you know, as payback.
Were they still active in '98?
Active in '98? Well, they were movie critics, yes. So that is until
I know who they were.
Yeah, that is until a few years later when Gene Siskel died from that brain tumor.
Yeah.
Apparently, he died from the same kind of brain tumor that my uncle Dan had died from, and it's the kind of thing that has no cure. Like once you find that it's there, there's nothing they can do. Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing reference to the two of them being like Bert and Ernie. Like, and when you think about it, like the shape of their heads, it kind of was Bert and Ernie. Like, I don't know. It just popped into my head. Like I could see it.
I know they tried to do the show for a while after the one passed away, and it didn't go. It didn't go so well.
No.
Yeah, that's when he was doing reviews with Richard Roper, right?
Something. All I know is it didn't go too well because you get two guys like that did the show for so long, like Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. They had such chemistry, and that's why it couldn't be replaced.
Oh my God, his last name almost sounds like what Ernie would say.
Yeah.
Ebert.
Ebert.
Ebert. Right. Oh, here. Babyface September says Godzilla did so much damage to the city, it looked like an apocalypse. Yeah, Godzilla did do some damage to the city, but so did the military that was hunting him down because the military
took down the Chrysler building.
Yeah, there was no scene where they took out the Chrysler building. Yeah, because they said, "Oh, it was a negative impact. Our heat seekers can't lock." So they were not able to lock on with the heat-seeking missiles, even though they did the exact same thing to take him out in the end.
Well,
so, yeah,
because he was in the water and the water's cooler, so they were able, like he was able to remain cooler, or cooler in the outside than the buildings were, but in the water, everything else was cooler than he was, so they were able to lock in on him with them.
Mm-hmm.
I got that, but it didn't kill him. He came back in the end.
No,
he came back. It was just like a fake out. They just were like, okay, we need some kind of a third act. Let's have Godzilla have like a nest, full of Jurassic Park ripoff. Yeah, raptor babies.
Sorry, Jurassic Park music.
Emmerich makes the military look like idiots. Yeah, he definitely did this. And I remember the last guy saying, "Oh, I think I lost him," and then Godzilla just jumps in and grabs the chopper, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's what this guy gets for having a name like Snooze. Seriously, that's what it says on his helmet.
That's the guy I said should have just went up, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Go up.
Yeah, you're in a helicopter.
Jump.
Helicopters.
You can't fly.
they elevate, they go up. You know, you don't have to just stay like on just that level. You can just go up and get the hell out.
Yeah.
You'd have been safe.
Also, wasn't the original Godzilla invincible, so nothing can come? Yes. See, that's one of the reasons why I had an issue with this version of Godzilla, is because it's nothing like the original. Like the original was supposed to be like a metaphor of like of the power of a nuclear weapon. That's what Godzilla was intended to be, nature's nuclear weapon. And
Yep.
you know, but here, this gun, like it was able to, like the original Godzilla was able to withstand anything, because if it was able to survive a nuclear blast, it could survive anything. But here, this Godzilla was easily taken down with missiles. So basically it was
easily.
weaker. Yeah. So
he got hit with the ones in the water, and then he got hit with 2, 4, 6, and then 6 more. Then he died. So
needed more training or common sense. Yeah, exactly.
I have a question on the part where he was taking pictures of him, like right after the fish part, I think. And like the military was surrounding them. How come they didn't attack him then?
Because Broderick put his hand out. He like put his hand out like this, and then he went like that.
Yeah, why?
Like because
he was
right there.
Oh, because he was right there.
He was right, yeah, because he was there, and I'm guessing also because they didn't want to set Godzilla off or something. And also,
well, I also think that,
and also the camera that he was using, that Matthew Broderick was using to take of Godzilla, was like this disposable camera, something you don't see anymore. He got it from one of those dispenser machines that they used to have it back in the 90s.
Yeah, that was
wind
funny.
it for every picture.
Yeah,
but it's almost like Matthew Broderick wanted to study it, thinking that his character wanted to study it, but also at the same time, he felt that it wasn't going to hurt him at that moment.
Right, but if they would have fired on him, it might have.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah,
that's true.
Well, it's like they were connecting, or he was connecting with Godzilla,
like
they were communicating somehow with eyes.
Right, like for a second or so.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to point out that I remember using disposable cameras as a kid, and not one time have I ever had a disposable camera that made a huge flash like the one he did when he was face to face with it.
Yeah, they usually didn't make a flash at all because the disposable cameras were cheap. You
I
used them
remember
during the day, or
flashed.
you were screwed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I remember them with the flash in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I had regular cameras with a flash.
Yeah,
I remember the flash cubes
in Godzilla's face. Not that big of a
remember
flash.
That, Joe?
Yeah, the flash
cubes that you would put on top.
Yeah, you had to buy them in a package of 3 or 5 or whatever.
And see, these guys are like, what?
1-ton film.
Oh, yeah, we saw that comment. You were saying that they did the review like when Gene was like given the surgery, they had to do it over the phone. Yeah, I remember you commenting. Also, Billy's asking what we think about the MonsterVerse movies, the latest Godzilla movies, though, which were Godzilla from 2014, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla versus Kong. Those
better than this movie, but it's not hard to be better than this movie.
Yep, there you go. Yes, true. That's true. Seriously, I prefer. It's like this movie is not the best, but definitely not the worst. I mean, I do believe this was like the worst treatment that they ever did to Godzilla. But as a movie, it's just okay.
You know what's really weird though is until I rewatched it today, I could have swore it was Matthew Broderick that almost got stepped on, and then didn't like it. But then it turns out it was Hank Azaria. I was like, really?
Yeah,
I could have sworn it was Matthew Broderick for some reation.
Yeah, that one scene with where the feedback is back again.
Yeah. That burp came back with a feedback.
And here
that you should have used as your character's Rick, Tom.
I know.
Hey, Nick, are you sure it's not happening on your end?
I had to mute my mic for a while. Did it just show up?
I don't know.
He asked you if it's happening on your end.
It could be StreamYard in the connection.
Yeah.
Good night to the man. I don't forget. Okay.
It's just that your microphone is picking up your speakers, Nick, is what's going on.
Yeah.
That's usually what that
so.
is. So Maybe if you turn down your speakers or move the microphone a little away from the speakers, one of the two or both, it might eliminate it.
That's the whole point of this arm.
Well, I'm communicating with the laptop though, so I'm not using any mics or anything.
So you're using the mic on the laptop?
I mean, I have a mic on the laptop, but I don't know how I could really move
Oh no,
it
I
away.
thought that's what you were using. Well, you got to be using a mic of some kind, otherwise.
Well, some people put in the headsets or whatever, and have a webcam hooked up, and they forget to turn off the webcam mic, so both mics end up picking them up.
Yeah, that's true.
That also causes.
Yeah.
Well, his is probably all
now, Babyface. Yeah.
Night go
here. Yeah, good night. And Babyface is saying, I wasn't the hugest fan of Audrey or Matthew Broderick's love interest in this movie. Yeah, that's because there was absolutely zero chemistry at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, she was cute, but she was kind of a dip.
Yeah. After what she did to him, like stealing his tape so that she could try to get a news story, to be taken seriously as a reporter. But then later on, they're like, okay, we just survived this mess. So yeah, we'll give this another chance. Like, really?
Yeah, no. We're like, you know what? No, you stole the tape. I don't care if you regret it now. I don't care. Oh, did it not work out for you? How about if it would have worked out for you? Would you?
Yeah, but love will do some stupid things, man. I tell you, that's a supernatural power all of itself.
But if they would have not re-edited that and then used what's his name in that, would she have felt as bad?
Yeah.
Probably not. She'd have probably been, oh, well, my career's going,
Yeah. You're just like trying to get your career going and like mess up his.
Right.
They just didn't have chemistry, really.
Yeah, there was zero chemistry between the two. I could not take their relationship seriously at all.
And then all of a sudden they were in love again.
Yeah. It's like, we just blew up Madison Square Garden, killed all the babies. So yeah, let's rekindle.
All right, let's go in the closet over here and. Wait, man. Godzilla's back. All right, we're gonna have to wait on that.
Yep. Hold off. Oh yeah, hold off on our non-chemistry romance.
That's right. Our little closet rendezvous. We'll have to wait.
Yeah. So now we gotta run away from Godzilla inside of a cab.
Yeah. This thing got brakes.
This thing of I believe he said does this thing have high beams? I remember
high beams. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that tunnel scene. I remember that. And let's see what I had something just a second ago. He also once again does that fire breath. And seriously, like, does this thing even have fire breath, or is it's just blowing?
No, it was the vehicle that blew up.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of yelled, and then
almost like a not necessarily, but almost kind of similar, like a sonic type. It's not necessarily sonic, but obviously it's air. It's like controlling flames. It's not actually breathing it, but it's using air from its lungs to push flames around. And if that's
because that vehicle went up and it exploded there.
Or maybe
it's all in the timing.
Or like maybe something similar like a kind of like a windstorm, if you will. But instead of wings, it's coming from his mouth.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, you're right. They did add that sound effect in Babyface. That it was the first one where it blew like the fire at the military. There was a cougar sound effect that played. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like all the sounds it made, they might have been similar to the original Godzilla sounds, but they weren't close.
They really old technology that was available in '98 compared to 50 something. They would have done a better job with it all.
Yep. Yeah. Man, but
Broderick probably cost them too much money, so
they spent all that money on the CGI. So
yeah.
Instead of having somebody in a suit, like a Power Rangers villain or something.
Yeah.
And, that's right. And I remember what I liked in the Madison Square Garden scene where there was some damage signs, like some are flickering. I'm like, Actually, one was flickering, and that was the Blockbuster sign. And I'm just like, oh, so this predicted the end of Blockbuster. It was just flickering and fading away.
That's right.
I think
Blockbuster.
that was my favorite part. That's the Blockbuster.
I think somewhere there is still one Blockbuster that.
Yep.
Yeah, there
It's
is. There,
like in Alaska, I think.
no,
In
no,
Bend, Oregon.
it's in Colorado or something. It's on Netflix. There was a documentary about the last Blockbuster ever.
And it's still open.
I still,
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So you can
Alaska
still
that-
go stick to the floor, the carpet, and everything as you're going to pick out your DVDs and get those big boxes of Juju fruits and.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
And yeah, it's actually, I believe the last Blockbuster is actually located in Bend, Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Oh, okay, so I knew it was out on the West Coast.
Yeah,
Bend.
we just started. Oh, real quick, because Lauren just said this. This is actually something interesting. It's revolving around movies too. Start working on a portrait of Audrey Hepburn using oil pastels.
Oh, wow!
That
Impressive.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing because I've seen a few movies with Audrey Hepburn. My favorite one is actually Wait Until Dark.
Oh, wow!
That is actually a really creepy suspense thriller film.
It is. Oh, here. Babyface is saying, I remember the Taco Bell. For this movie? Yeah. Taco Bell promoted so
Taco
many
Bell.
movies back in the day.
Wasn't
they
the dog
promoted-
in that?
Yeah.
The
Yo
dog
quiero
was
Taco
in it
Bell.
back then, yeah.
Yeah, his dog was still around in '98.
Yeah.
The dog was like the mascot of there, but then I guess people considered it racially offensive back then to have like a Chihuahua saying Yo quiero Taco Bell.
I still have in my basement. I found it like a couple of years ago. The little plush toy that they put out where you squeeze it. It was the dog, and when you squeezed it, it said that. It still works.
It was like a Chihuahua, right?
I swear to God, I saw it
Oh,
downstairs when I was cleaning up the basement one time. I'm like, oh, look at that, and I squeezed it, and it said, "Yo quiero Taco Bell." I went, "Oh my God, it still works."
Wow. I'm starting to wonder. I'm thinking back to that toy that I mentioned earlier that I had when I was little. When this movie came out, that Godzilla like figure, like it was like about, I want to say about this tall. Actually, no, like this tall, and it was making that roaring sound effect. I wonder if I were to go over to my parents' house and like because they did save toys for like the for my nieces and nephews, they saved a few toys for them. I'm wondering if Godzilla, that toy is among them, and if that roaring sound still works
Among Us,
even after 25 years.
If not, I'm sure there's a battery in there that could be changed out.
Probably,
even if you have to unscrew it to get it to it. But
oh yeah, because then maybe I should. Oh yeah, and if there's anything else wrong with it, maybe I should just send it over to one of those YouTubers who fixes who completely repairs all sorts of different toys. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Restoring. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them restore, not just toys, but like old gaming consoles, like old Game Boys and like PlayStation 1s and whatnot.
Yeah, but some of those gaming consoles that you're talking about, just about, well, not just about anybody, but I can repair those and bring them back to life, because the Xbox and the PlayStation, they were nothing but a computer inside.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah,
Well, here's the thing. I mean, because what Jeremy just said about amazing how that a battery can last that long. It's even more amazing how not only can it survive for such a very long period like that, but even more amazingly is that it didn't even leak. Because I've always heard for many years that if you have batteries in certain items, you don't want to leave them in because the acid could eventually leak and it could ruin the entire item. And the worst part about that is once it starts leaking, you can't get rid of it then, because the acid actually eats into the metal, and it's kind of non-reversible in a way. So it's amazing.
Yeah, the battery acid. Yeah, that's right.
Amazing how the battery can survive and hasn't even.
Yeah, it'll destroy an item.
Yeah, like I said, once it gets on, you can't get rid of it then.
Yeah, and then it'll totally eat those little copper and metal pieces that connect your batteries to devices on both ends, and it'll basically render the whole thing useless.
Go back for a second with what Lauren said. This I thought was really fascinating, what she just said.
I've seen the damage.
Still has her Miss Beasley doll, and she still works. She got
Oh,
her
wow.
54 now. Wow.
Wow.
Miss Beasley
Sure.
from Family Affair.
Oh,
That's
so it still
incredible.
works after all this time? That's impressive.
It's
Yeah.
Doll from Family Affair, the TV series.
Oh, okay. I think that was a bit before my time, but that name does sound familiar.
Yeah, the TV series, I think it had Sebastian Cabot in it
You can use alcohol to wipe
as
off
Mr.
metal.
French. I think it started in the late 60s, early 70s, the Family Affair TV series.
Oh, I see. Oh.
Might have been. I never seen it.
It was about 3 kids, and they got sent to go live with their uncle when their parents died. And one of them carried a little doll. The little blonde girl carried a little doll around with her, and the doll's name was Mrs. Beasley.
Oh.
I think Family Affairs, I think, have been on a few times on I think on Me TV. I think they showed that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
probably.
Looking for it right now. See when it all
Yeah, the
started.
feedback is back.
Nick's mic is messing up.
Yeah, your mic. Get a new mic, man. Seriously.
How can I replace a mic when it's attached to the laptop? Like it's actually part of the laptop.
Eric, do what I do. Just use a mic, attach it to your laptop like this.
Okay, so
I got one like that. I've got a headset back here, but I tend to just use the one that's in the webcam because it gets too complicated.
So Family Affair, that's what it actually was called. It was on CBS, ran from 1966 till 1971. So yeah, late 60s, early 70s.
Right. And then it ran in reruns when I was a kid because, I know I didn't watch it in 71. I was only like 4 years old at that point.
Oh, here. I wanted to make a comment about from when if Tom gets back, but I might as well. Seriously, I'm still hearing the feedback.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, is it? Yep,
it's gone now.
Yeah, it's Nick. It's from you.
It's Nick.
I went down and I found the plushie toy I was talking about.
Uh-oh.
It does not work anymore.
I'm going to try one more tactic. I'll be right back.
Oh, it's still in the bag.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to take it out.
Oh, wow.
But it does not work anymore. I pushed it a couple of times, and I was like, damn.
Oh,
there you can kind of see him.
Yeah.
Oh. He's got a birthday hat on.
He does?
Yeah.
Nice.
That is cool.
I was hoping it would still work.
Yeah.
I went through all that just for that. That's what he said.
Nice. Yeah. Hopefully Nick's got his mic because now mystery solved. It's the feedback is caused by Nick.
Okay.
I knew that.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. And Tom, I wanted to wait to comment on something from the movie, but I wanted to wait until you got back. Here's one thing that's always bothered me is when Godzilla's walking through the streets, rampaging in the very beginning, like when he arrives in New York. Why aren't the people just getting out of the streets and just staying in his path where they can get crushed? They're just running straight down the streets in his path.
Even the cop was just like, and it took him. He started to run away, but it's like by then, 2 steps he's stepping on you. So
yeah, it's like just get off the streets, people. Get somewhere like out of his path.
Yeah,
it's like
he's walking down the street, go in the building.
Jeremy.
Wait, let me try something. Hang on. Let's see if it'll pick it up. Oh man.
Babyface makes a good point. Because maybe they were either in shock or drunk.
Yeah, but
they thought they were hallucinating.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they're hallucinating because I'm thinking either I'm hallucinating or that's the biggest iguana I've ever seen.
Yeah. Shock.
But running into a building wouldn't be the smartest idea either.
Well, I mean, if he's going
That
down the
sucker,
street,
the military brings it down, you're going to be trapped, if not crushed.
we'll
Yeah,
go down
it's
an
like we see-
alleyway or something.
Yeah, at least still an alleyway. Like at least get off the main streets. You know, like where you're in his path. You know, because I've seen a couple of parts where he stepped on somebody. Yeah, and Nick, you're. It's happening again. Here, I had to
And then
mute
he's
it.
talking to you while he's muted, like we can hear him.
Yeah.
Wait, he's muted, and I heard myself again for a second.
You got to
Wait,
give StreamYard a moment to catch up.
That's weird.
I'm just going to have to basically mute the mic until you want me to speak. Best I can do. I don't know what the problem is.
Come on,
I don't
Nick.
know what
Speak.
I wanted to show you guys a snack I found.
Biggs.
What do you got there?
My
Dill.
boss has them.
Oh,
Dill
Sunflowers.
Yeah.
pickles. That's your stuff, Tom.
I would eat it, but I can't eat sunflower seeds. I can't eat seeds.
Jeremy, I don't know why you have to step out for this Thursday show. I was just talking to those guys, and he actually messaged me saying we are going to be in so much trouble. It's going to be one hell of a show.
So
Who's
they're going to
on?
be naked on the show, and
We got no, thank God. No, we got the 3 J's finally coming up.
oh,
The
hey,
3Js.
you better get your new microphone before then.
Oh God, I don't know where this show is gonna. I really have no idea where this show is gonna go, but
I do. Things Network.
days though, that's the job.
You'll be fine.
Ron, you've seen them. Jill, you've seen them.
Who are they?
So they actually run. It's not a network, but they actually run LEP Productions, and they do a show on Tuesday nights. They actually do it right around the same time.
Oh, I think I'm following that
Yeah.
LEP.
LEP Productions, and they actually start their show a half hour before this one. Their names are Jay and Jason, who both live in Ohio, and then Joe, who actually lives in Wisconsin. So, and they just talk about all the craziest things you can think of. And also, I always have to say, because Don, Jill, you guys already know this already. These guys are the originators of all those jokes involving Gorilla Glue.
Oh my god!
So
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna
one of
have,
our inside. That's one of Nick's inside jokes with everybody. He always likes to comment about Gorilla Glue.
well, and that's what we're gonna have this upcoming Thursday, having the originators on. And they were actually joking about that briefly earlier on their show tonight. So in fact, when I was muted, they were still live and they were asking me like if I could send a link. So that's why I was muted for a period of time, because they needed the links. And Joel, you're gonna like this. They also knew how to pronounce Illinois incorrectly. So I know Eileen is gonna have some new best friends.
I'm following them on my profile page, and I've been watching them every now and then.
They're funny.
I thought that sounded. Now I know who you're talking about. I'm gonna have to watch that Thursday.
They also kind of have a mascot character, which is Bodine the Bigfoot, which I've actually met Bodine at one of the Paracons about a few years ago. So
it's different than Buddy the Bigfoot, huh?
yeah, they had theirs is called Bodine. So it's oh man, they again, Don, Jill, you've seen who they are. They're crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Well, they may have the Gorilla Glue jokes, but I got the pickle stuff.
You got the pickle jokes.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. I'm Pickle Tom.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought of something. Yeah, about the design of Godzilla in this. Nick, I think your feedback's back again.
I mean, my mic.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, like one of the things that like one of the biggest missed opportunities that this film had, like they feel like they should have just gone with was when they were designing Godzilla, there actually was a design that was for Godzilla that was faithful to the original version of it, and this was done by the brilliance of creature effects artist who is no longer with us, Stan Winston. And Stan Winston is known for he designed the Alien Queen from Aliens, Predator, and let's see who else.
He also did Jurassic Park.
Yes, he did Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
Terminator.
That's true.
I've been watching Terminator.
And he also did the creature from this movie that was made here in Chicago called The Relic.
Yep. Right.
I seem to recall that.
Yeah, it was takes place inside the Field Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it was the mid-90s.
It's crazy to think it was in the Museum of Science and Industry.
I want to go there.
Nobody just saw that, by the way.
I don't know.
I did not try to take a sip from the unopened beer.
I didn't see.
Nobody saw that.
I gotta ask because now I gotta be like,
do it again.
You've been drinking tonight, sir?
No.
All right, I'm gonna need you to step off the show
None.
and walk a straight line for us.
Hey, you're missing something. Nick, you're missing something.
What?
A badge.
Oh, a bet. Well,
I can't.
I'll use this as close enough as a badge for now.
No, here, I'll loan you
disappear.
mine. I'll loan you
The
mine.
badge disappeared.
Oh, wait.
Oh, there it is.
Hang on. It's not necessarily a badge, but it's a patch though. So
No, patch don't work. You gotta have the badge.
Oh.
What are you, Dragnet? Get out of here with that patch.
all right,
Joe Friday.
Well, with that being said, all right, Tom, you be safe on the show tonight. There's a lot of crazies out there tonight.
Hey, you know.
I don't know if you ever noticed it, but I'll be right back. I got a badge that I got to get it off my leather vest. That's like yours, Nick. I don't know if you noticed the badge that was on it, but I'll see if you can get it real close because it's small. It was supposed to be big like the other one.
You got to watch out. There's crazies out there because when you're out there drunk driving,
I'll watch out.
People are really crazy. You got to watch out when you're drunk driving. People will just like coast right into you, even though it looks like you're going into them. You're not. It's them because you're straight. You're good. You know, you got it.
Yeah. So wanted to comment on like when they brought Godzilla down. Like it felt like it just felt like the tone was kind of a shifting back and forth. It's like you want it's like they're saying victorious, so like taking it down, like it was like a victorious kind of music that was playing.
Bad.
But then right when it's like sitting there groaning and you hear its heartbeat, it's like the movie wants you to feel sorry for it, and then it closes its eye, and then everybody's cheering. It's like, oh, so like, what are you trying to do? Are we supposed to be happy he's dead? Are we supposed to be sad? Like, what is going on here? What are you trying to do for us, movie?
Excuse me. Oh my God, that just came right out. My apologies, people. This guy had a badge up there.
Yeah, I guess I can't get it close enough so you can read it.
Here, hold on. I can zoom in.
Female body inspector.
Hang on. Here, hold it just a little bit further, Joe, because it's starting to clear up a little bit.
Okay. No,
it's still not showing.
Yeah, it says Wisconsin paranormal investigator 666.
Oh, I love it.
I had that custom made. I had it custom made. But the problem
stop in the name of the dead.
The problem was it was supposed to be as big as the one I have here.
Oh, really? Here on, let's. Oh, so you were going to make it like an actual almost like life-size badge in a way, yeah.
Yeah, I can't help.
I gotta go back to the manufacturer.
I can't help but notice
a new one, but order it more of the size so I can put it on this because I can clip it to my belt that way.
Yeah, I can't help but notice that yours is noticeably smaller.
Well, this one's mine too. I earned this one as well.
Okay, well, you just ruined my joke, you know.
I worked in the law enforcement field in a way where I was a top-rated security guard, and I was also a private investigator for a while. So I've got some badges from like when I worked for Pinkerton. I've got the badges because the pay was shit. So part of the agreement was for me to keep my sergeant's badge when I left.
So you investigated privates.
Yeah. I used that on some women.
Well, hey, you know, if it works.
It did.
Yeah. It's the FBI, female body inspector. It's
wow.
It's a badge. It's...
I had a t-shirt that said that.
I did too.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, I don't know if you heard any of this, what we were just talking about, but Babyface was saying because of her comment right here saying she was confused in the end. Yeah, I felt confused too because of the whole tonal shit. The tone was shifting back and forth when Godzilla was brought down. It's like it was playing triumphant music and right after he was shot with the missiles. Then after he went down, it's like the tone is different. Like where it's like you hear Godzilla groaning and the heartbeats slow fading away. It's like the movie wants you to feel sorry for it at that moment after playing the triumphant music of bringing him down. But then everybody's cheering, and the tone is back to we're like everything's happy. Like are we? So it's like what's the movie saying? Are we supposed to be happy or are we supposed to be sad that he's dead? Like what is going on here?
And they also did that cheesy thing right at the end where they're walking as they're talking, or they're talking as they're walking off in the distance. Did he say anything about my tape? Oh yeah, he said something about your tape. Like that's a total 80s thing to do.
Pretty much. Yeah, that is.
I mean, that's about as 80s as like when they do like the intro song of everybody going. Like, it's just as 80s as that.
Tom, I gotta say, Tom, can you do that again for us? Let me put it on.
You do that so well.
Let's do that again.
I actually snorted it. It's like the beginning to Full House, you know. They're just
kind of. Don, I'm going to say this now. If you ever make an introduction to the show and you include each of us like we do with Supernatural Talk, that is Tom's clip right there.
Right, and somebody's got to go, like, be doing something to go.
Here. Here. Anyway, when we're done with this, I'll go back to that moment and I'll screen capture it.
There
it was
go.
That one. Okay, I can tell you when the time was. It was around 1. It was 1:12. I don't remember exact seconds, but it was an hour and 12 minutes that he did that. oh wait, Jeremy's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. Well.
Oh man, nice.
Oh, love my 80s stuff.
It's like. I mean, 80s was before my time, but I'm still fascinated with it. Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't great decade to grow up.
MTV was a lot different than it is now.
Well, yeah, they actually showed music videos.
Yeah, actual music videos. Interviewed the artists. They didn't have DJs. They called them VJs.
Yep, VJs.
And believe it or not, Pauly Shore was one of them.
What? I know, but
you know, it's funny you brought that up, and this was actually about a year ago. But my dad was going through a lot of the old VHS tapes that we had, and on one occasion, I happened to come home from work. He was watching one of them. It wasn't MTV, but it was VH1, and
that was grown up MTV.
Yeah, and that too showed a lot of like videos from that too showed a lot of videos as well.
More easy listening.
It was just,
yeah.
In fact, I still remember exactly the first music video that was appearing on. And it's funny. I think to myself, my God, this came out in the 80s. And at that time, it was like the song that came out was like 10 or 15 years old. Now it's over like 40. It was the
I missed it.
I forgot that she was a singer at one point. Tracy Ullman. They
yeah.
know about us.
That was I actually own that album. It's sitting.
You do.
The album that came off of is sitting in my dad's dressing room over here.
That was the music.
That was
that
my
was the
first album I
video
ever bought.
That was the first video that was shown on the screen that my dad was watching, and even I forgot that even Paul McCartney makes a brief cameo appearance in the.
I had a crush on her back then.
Yeah. Whatever happened?
I was in a music video.
Was it called "This Is Tom's World"?
No, it was called Serobia, of all things. So there was a guy at the garden. That's the garden that I worked on and stuff at the park I work at. And he made a series of videos about a fictional story about the daughter of the people that own that getting mixed up with a witch and getting caught in the afterlife, all this other stuff. In the second video, he actually asked me to be in it.
Really?
So I'm actually in it.
That's awesome.
But I mean, I could play it for you if you guys really want to see it, but you know, I don't know if you want to see it. It's kind of corny.
Looks like we're not the only ones that feel this way, Don.
Yeah. True. Oh, here, Angela is saying. Angela was saying that said that if he wants to know if we talked about the animated series, which is technically the sequel to this.
I never saw that. Really
I remember it. I didn't watch it, but I remember.
Yeah,
it.
I just watched a few episodes. It seemed like good for what it was during the time, and so it follows the Godzilla that had hatched at the end of the movie, because it shows like what's left of the burning Madison Square Garden, and that only one egg had survived.
Well, they left it wide open like they do with everything at the end for a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, and they were originally, before they even made the animated series, they were going to make like 2 or 3 more sequels compared to it. Well, I think they were going to make a trilogy to it. And what's interesting, because Don, I've read the plot to you, and I think this is where, and you guys are going to think about this immediately. The sequel for it was actually going to take place in Australia, which would explain why in Godzilla Final Wars, he's attacking Sydney, Australia. They got that idea from that original plot line. And also in the sequel, this new younger version of Zilla, Matthew Broderick would, of course, reprise his role as the carrier, as well as some of the other cast members.
Well, I would think Hank Azaria would come back. And the chick that played...
They'd bring a lot of the main characters back, and they actually would try to protect the Zilla. And, of course, this would also be the first one where he'd fight another monster, which would have been like this giant insectoid wasp that he would fight, which it's going to sound crazy. I can't believe I'm about to say it, but the actual name for this giant wasp that he would be fighting, which would unleash a swarm of like these human-sized, like kind of like in the Gamera films, like in Legion, like there's a giant one and there's like smaller ones. The insect in this one would have been called the Queen Bitch. That's what they were going to call it in that movie.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It kind of makes me think of Megaguirus, Godzilla versus Megaguirus.
That too, yeah. It was like an early attempt, even though that was before Godzilla versus Megaguirus. It would have been some way almost like a ripoff in a way, but instead of a dragonfly, it was like a giant wasp of some sort.
Like this.
Yeah. So the rest of the movie then would be focusing Zilla, and apparently Zilla would once again be reproducing asexually. So there'd be more smaller Zillas involved fighting this army.
Gajuki.
Well, what's also crazier, Dom, when you were telling about Matthew Broderick's character and the actress, the relationship, they were supposed to get married in the sequel, but he ends up running off because he's worried about Zilla in the fight with the Queen Bitch. And next thing you know, she breaks up with him again. So it was quite obviously shown that their relationship was never meant to be.
Yeah,
she breaks up with him. She has an affair with Hank Azaria.
And, like, what's the point? What's the point of even having her in the next movie to begin with? I mean, it's clear that their relationship would never have worked out anyway.
Well, she didn't want his last name. She couldn't pronounce it.
Nobody could.
I even remember. I think she was supposed to not even have that big of a role in what would have been the second movie than she did in the first one. So she was not even going to be that heavily featured in it at all.
These are all my Godzilla movies.
You're right.
Big stack.
Here, I'm going to zoom in on this. There you go.
People are commenting. Yeah, but yeah, this big stack. This is all my Godzilla movies.
See, now you got to start working on getting the toys and stuff. And then maybe you can compete with Ted.
Yeah. Big Teddy with his collection.
Oh my God, he has like every toy they made.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'd love to see those toys. But
he's even got the one that like when you roll it, it's got wheels under the feet, and it like sparks out of the mouth and everything. I remember that.
Yeah, like it's like I wish I had I wish it was easier to get a hold of these. Like so few of these few of the films that I don't have yet are very hard to track down. Like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the original one from '74. Yep. Yeah, like that's extremely hard to find.
Can you believe that movie's turning 50 this year?
Because after a certain point, Don, after a certain point, movies become OP. So once they become OP or out of print, you find them, you're going to pay collector prices.
But you might find a digital version.
If you're
I'm
lucky.
sure. Oh, well, yeah, I'm sure digital versions do exist. Yeah, but for me, it's nothing like actually holding a physical copy.
Yeah.
But here, love all your Godzilla movie. Oh, thank you, Angela. Yeah, it's collection that's still building. When Godzilla -1 comes out DVD on Blu-ray, I'm definitely getting that.
Wow, there's 2 E's in his name. Is that Angelo?
Angelo, yeah.
Or is it Angelo?
He pronounces it Angelo.
I thought the same thing too. He's from the Philippines.
Well, I just didn't know. I mean, it looks like it would be pronounced Angelo, but
yeah. Well,
make sure I get it right. Respect.
He pronounces it like Angelo.
So, cool.
Hey, I wish Andrea and Digga King stepped on literally.
not only stepped on, but when his foot went down, then he like.
And you heard that sound.
Yes, totally. Will you cover the MonsterVerse movies on the podcast too? Yes, I'm considering that. I'm trying to debate as to which Godzilla movie to cover, sometime in a few weeks down the road after this one. I'm thinking either Godzilla 2014, or I'm thinking should I cover ones from the original era? Just all these different ideas. Yeah,
you got a whole bunch of movies, Don.
I have a random suggestion.
Okay.
When I went downstairs earlier, my dad was watching Young Frankenstein.
Oh
my God. Young Frankenstein was an awesome movie. Yes.
Here's for you guys what Angela just said.
Frau Blucher.
Jeremy said do the original era.
Well, we did the original. He did. We did the original Godzilla.
Yeah. No, we did the original film. We didn't do the movies afterwards.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about covering the most popular of all, some of the more popular Godzilla movies, including ones from the original era. Let's see. Here, Angela's saying it's pronounced as Angela. Yeah. Oh, I got you, Angela. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, just wanted to make sure I was saying it right. That's all.
Yeah. Do the Monarch one or the 3-headed one? Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean Ghidorah? Yes.
Ghidorah.
That would be Godzilla. That would be Godzilla King of the Monsters, the one from 2019. The one with Millie Bobby Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, very talented
Young
actress.
Frankenstein, isn't that Mel Brooks film?
Yes.
It's got Gene Wilder in it, and that guy with that one guy that's always in those movies with Mel Brooks with the funky eyes, Marty something.
Marty Feldman.
Yeah, and this year it's going to turn 50, so 1974.
I love those.
And Peter, what's his name, was the monster, the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, played his dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Really, that's him.
That's him.
I know the monster. Everybody Loves Raymond. I know who you're talking about, though.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Put on
I remember when Stewie made fun of that on Family Guy.
Yeah. Oh man, and they had to include Gene Wilder. Man was a legend. Yeah, I loved him as Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder was one hell of a legend. Him and Richard Pryor made one of the best comedy duos of their time.
Yeah, Stir Crazy and Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
See No Evil.
I love that movie with
He,
the ice cream.
I actually said a really good. I'm just going to say this quickly because this was actually when he passed away, because I thought this was literally the perfect thing to say, because like when we all shared about a celebrity away, when it was Gene Wilder, I said, you also certainly too were the man who suddenly got everything you always wanted and lived happily ever after, which obviously is the quote from the last line from Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of that,
it's Gene Wilder, he kept his Alzheimer's secret from the public during the last few years of his life because he didn't want people to be worried about him. They just wanted everybody to remember him as the way he was as an actor. And from what I've been told, he was like an extremely genuine guy to the people. To everybody who ever met him. He was one of the greatest.
Yeah,
even with the Alzheimer's though, you would never be able to tell with him because he was never real. You know what I mean? He was never just true, real himself. He was always all over the place. So the Alzheimer's would just be like regular Gene Wilder.
Well, in a way, he was probably depressed, so he probably kept a good mask up.
Yeah,
right.
To hide the depression because, years before he passed away, the love of his life passed away. Because
Gilda Radner.
Yeah, he was married to Gilda Radner.
Yeah,
right.
Who was also
another great comedian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
guys, real quick, because I just saw, since Lauren is heading to bed, I actually want to share something, and this is actually involving actors. She actually, although she said she's making a new painting, she sent me one of her newest paintings a few days ago. I was supposed to show this on Supernatural Talk. I just wanted to show this to you guys real quick. Check this out.
Wow.
Wow.
If I'm correct, that's obviously based off John Wayne.
That is John Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude.
Yep.
So fantastic work. I don't know if I'm still watching. I know she was about to head to bed, but just wanted to let her know I just shared it.
One of my favorite movies is a lot of my favorite movies are John Wayne's, but one of my ultimate Western movies is Rio Bravo.
I like
John Wayne, Dean Martin, Walter Brennan.
Sad. He kind of does a little bit, but it's still an impressive piece of art, though.
He had droopy eyes.
Job.
He had droopy eyes, so he did kind of always have a sad look to him.
Yeah,
he did.
With his resting face.
Yeah. Oh, Billy, you were asking me if we responded to this yet. It was a pretty good comedy, Leslie Nielsen, but I do prefer him in Airplane. Just wanted to say, well, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Airplane and Airplane 2 was good.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just wanted to let you know we're all counting on you, and it's
and
he does it Shirley.
Yeah, and he goes back and does it a second time. I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. And
they're already landed.
And he did the exact same thing in at the end of Scary Movie 3. He opens the door, accidentally knocking down the girl down the well, and it said, "I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you."
Yep. And he did this thing. There's this thing that this guy on YouTube, Jack Vale, sells called the Pooter. It's just this little rubber cylinder that you put it in your hand, and it's got a hard plastic end. When you push on it, it makes a fart sound. He had one of them long before Jack Vale started doing it back in the 80s. So every time he was interviewed, he always had it there with him. So he just in the middle of the interview just went and just be cracking people up. And you can actually watch videos of that on YouTube of Leslie Nielsen farting. It's funny. You gotta watch it.
Isn't it funny? Isn't that just funny how that works?
Farts are funny, man.
I mean, I'll never forget when I after seeing it live, I saw the Blue Collar Comedy Tour live. I met the guys, got their autographs, so on and so forth. But then I bought the DVD while I was there because you got to buy it before it was out in the stores.
Here's your sign.
And in the DVD, Larry the Cable Guy goes into Spencer's in the mall. I don't know what shopping mall that this was filmed in. And he buys a fart machine, a radio controlled fart machine. And Jeff Foxworthy goes, I'm so proud of him. He just bought his first fart machine. So then they go around, and Larry the Cable Guy is going up to people and kind of, like making that fart look like he's going to, and then he lets it rip, and it's got like 3 or 4 different fart sounds on it. I about pissed my pants laughing.
Well, you got to watch Jack Bale's videos.
Yeah. Angelo is asking if we have plans to cover the first Mothra movie from 1961. Yes, we will. So down the road, we will cover that as well. Oh, but guys, we're out of time here. So
yeah, I was trying to do this. Like, say we got to end things because
I haven't forgotten, Nick. But and so in conclusion, Godzilla is just on the line between good and bad. I do agree that this is probably the worst depiction of Godzilla, at least compared to the Godzilla that Japan created and to be an unstoppable force. But
and the fact that it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, well, this movie does serve as a guilty pleasure for some, but I will say this is a better, like I said, better Matthew Broderick movie than Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. So, yeah, that's the end of this edition of FearFans podcast. We will let you guys know what we will be covering next week. I've had a few ideas, but yeah, we'll go over that. Me and everybody else right here, we'll go over that soon. So, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the like button if you did. Share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Tom's this is Tom's World, Nick's channel, Things Network. Just subscribe to everything.
That's right. Subscribe, like.
You gotta subscribe more to Tom's channel. He needs the subscribers more than us.
That's right, because I haven't said it yet. Make sure you go to youtube.com/thisistomsworld.
No apostrophe.
No apostrophe. No nothing. No, just straight up, just all letters.
Yeah,
and make sure you check out my merch shop and all that stuff. And
I forgot to put the countdown up. Like how many?
That was only one.
Okay,
just
fine.
one time.
I didn't do it before.
All right.
I did mention the merch shop, but I didn't talk about.
Yeah, he mentioned his hat.
That's right. That's right. You can get one of these. They're cool hats, man, and they fit really well, especially if you have long hair. And
Yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week on the FearFans podcast. Until then, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.